I am back. It has been an insane weekend. The build up, the building up to the seeding show, building up to the actual LAN itself. Europa Halo Blackpool was amazing. Essentially, this video is going to be all about, how did I do? How did I find it? Does EU need more Halo lands and sort of that thing? So if you're not from EU, you still might find this interesting. If you are from EU, then there's going to be something that's very much up your street because, let's face it, HCS has really let down European players in the last couple of years. And the Europa LAN that was put on and the effort that went in from the staff that were at the event was incredible. And as far as my performance was concerned at the LAN, for those of you that don't know, up until literally the week before, I didn't actually have a team. I was in the seeding cup and we got knocked out a bit earlier than we should have. And some of the teammates weren't happy about that. And so some of the players in my team at that time actually folded. So up until like the week before, I didn't actually have a team. And luckily I was picked up by EU Assault Mighties, Moss and Sus, who had me coach them, and we actually did fairly well in pools. We went 3-1, just losing out to NLF Hattie Skull, GG to them, but we did get through to the championship bracket, but unfortunately because we ended up with a score of 2-1 instead of 3-0, we actually went against Navi, which meant that we got knocked out to the losers bracket basically straight away. And then actually one of the players on my team was actually quite ill, so we had to forfeit and we didn't get to play against Trashcan Esports, which was quite sad. And we didn't get to go on main stage either, which was very disappointed. I was very much looking forward to going on main stage, but it was all good. I still had a fantastic experience, and I'm just going to talk a little bit now about my sort of review of it as a spectator, but also as a competitor as well. So, in terms of how I found it as a competitor, communication from Europa was really clear. The rounds were scheduled really clearly on the Excel spreadsheet that they had at the back on the projectors for us that you couldn't see on stream if you weren't there. And the times more or less were adhered to pretty much spot on, except from the fact where there was little administrative issues. We all know Halo Infinite likes to crash, that type of thing. But other than that, the staff were competent, the administrative staff were good at imposing the rules, they were open to when games had crashed, they were helping out. If they weren't sure, they would get other people. And all in all, as a competitor, it was very smooth for me. I'm not sure if other teams had the same experience as I did, but from my point of view, it was very smooth. I knew where I needed to be, when I needed to be, how long I had, that sort of stuff, and it was just very easy. All of the series layouts were available very easily from all the administrators, and all in all, it was just a really smooth and fun experience. Now, I do have a little bit of a complaint to make about like the Astros and stuff, but that's not really Europa's fault because the budget they had and what they did with it was ridiculous. Like it was as close to HCS as we could possibly get with the resources that they had. And while I say it's a complaint, it's not really directed at Europa itself. I really wish that they would have got a bit more external help from other places based on all the things that they'd actually done. And the only complaint really was that because HCS uses Astros, they wanted to be genuine and use Astros as well. And as I have, as you can see, a SteelSeries headset, this meant that my headset isn't actually compatible with Astros. So that meant I either had to buy a mix amp or basically just tough shit. And so what I actually had to do, and I'll put a picture on the screen of what I was doing, is I had to take my own SteelSeries mix amp, USB cable that into my phone, and then I had to join Xbox Party through my data on my phone so I could talk to my team, which was a little annoying. And for the first match, it actually didn't work. But all in all, it was manageable. Again, no hate towards Europa. They did fantastic with the resource they had, but I just wish that Astro was a bit more friendly with other platforms, and I just kind of wish that that there was just an easier solution to it. That's all there is to it, really. But no hate towards Europa at all. They did a great job with that stuff. As a spectator then, the spectator area was basically what you would expect at HCS LAN. It was laid out nice with the stage, maybe not as nice as the 343 stage, but how would it be? They don't have the budget. They had the Xboxes up there. Really wish we had PCs, but again, it is what it is, and everything ran fine with the Series X's, and they had a large central panel for the viewers, just like in HCS. And they also had some projectors at the back that I felt like they didn't actually use, which was interesting. But the production that was on site was great. They had a few little audio hiccups and they sorted it. Big shout out to Rob, who was on the production there, and Metalizer as well, who I got to talk to. And all in all, from a spectator point of view, it was great. We could hear the game, we could hear the shoutcasters, we could hear the teams shouting over each other, and the famous, here's the replay from Twitter of the camera angle of the middle finger getting put across the back of the stage, which was hilarious. It was just a great atmosphere. And to make it even better for the spectators as well, notable individuals did show up at the event. We obviously had Scherzi and Onset, who were casting, which was fantastic. We had Tudor, as well as James Force as well, who's one of the mainstays in the Sauna channel, as well as for Europa themselves. Unfortunately, we didn't get installation 0-0. There was a lot of stuff that was going on. He's posted it on his YouTube about he's just having an unfortunate time at the minute. Big shout out to that guy. I feel quite bad for him at the moment, but we also had Bound show up as well, so I managed to get a photo with him and speak to him. Really genuine guy, and lots of other people on social media posted their photos with Bound too, which was great. And the Navi players and the Quadrant players were out sat in the pits with all the spectators and all the players. It wasn't like an us and them type of thing where they thought they were better than us and all that sort of stuff. It was just great. The community came together, spectator and player alike, and everyone just had an absolutely fucking awesome time. It was really good, and it just shows the hunger that is there for EU Halo, for HCS to come back, and also a lot of people have their trust in Europa to basically carry on doing this. If they did this again next year, I would buy a ticket in a heartbeat. No, and if you missed out and you were wondering whether you should have gone, you 100% should have gone. It was amazing, and I met all these people that I bump into matchmaking all the time, pros and otherwise. I got to play some 8s on LAN, and let me tell you right now, Infinite on LAN is perfection. Like, there is no netcode bullshit. When you get repulsed, you can actually shoot people back. The melees go through, everything just works perfectly. And I really I hope that with the stuff they're doing for the netcode that they've mentioned on Twitter, I think it was mentioned a couple of weeks ago that they're rewriting the netcode. I really hope that they get that stuff sorted out, because it's going to make the game so much better. So what does this mean for EU Halo in general? Just to wrap up here, because we're pushing 8 minutes. The hunger is there. There is competition. The EU Sauna had a huge turnout. That's like the sweaty Discord for EU. There was a huge turnout from basically everyone who is active in there and plays 8s showed up and had a team. And there was 32 teams in general. Yeah, so you got 32 teams, all of them consisting of 4 players, with half of them having coaches. And it just shows that, and even the professional teams like Quadrant did lose a game to Vactor's team, to Volusia Esports. And it's, you can talk about whether they let them have it or not. I mean, I don't think they did. But the idea is that there are tiers of gameplay there in Europe. There is a thirst for competition in Europe. There are plenty of players who want to improve from Europe. And I think this really shows 343 that HCS needs to come to Europe so we can have a LAN for EU teams, because playing online in the opens sucks, because the netcode for the game is shit. And they really need to sort out that stuff, and as I've said, they have said that they're going to sort that. But it just shows you how much we need a LAN. And let's not forget, the last LAN that we had was Valencia, which is a long ass time ago. That was so long ago. So they really need to get us a LAN in Europe. The hunger's there, the competition's there, the customers are there, the passion's there, everything is there. Just give us an event. And there has been some whispers about London potentially happening this season, But as far as if they're true or not, who knows? It could just be people circling rumours. I hope they're true. I would definitely be going if that's the case. And I'll be coaching a team as well, just like I did this time. And it just shows that there's a committed core of organisations and players in the scene who want professional gameplay to be supported by 343. And there's also lots of young players at the event that were just ridiculous. Like we had on my team, I had Suspense. The guy's 16. And some of the stuff he was doing was insane. We had lots of other players who were under 20 who would show so much promise that it would be criminal for this region to go underutilized. And I'm sure that other people in other regions agree as well. Like, there is not just America for Halo 343. There are other regions as well with players who are good, who want to show that they are good, who want to play against pro teams and develop themselves professionally. And the spectators that were there as well were also a large range of ages and backgrounds. The core audience is there. It's larger than it's wider than what you maybe would have expected, but it's still there. And it's just important that 343 see this video, Europa know that they did a really good job with this. And we just get some momentum behind EU Halo, because let's be real, we really need it. We really, really need it. But overall, event 10 out of 10. Would I go again? Yes, in a heartbeat. Would I have done anything to be involved with Europa to make it better if they asked me? Yes, in a heartbeat. Would I compete again? Yes, in a heartbeat. Would I go to meet all the people I met again? Yeah, absolutely. Was the venue good? Yes, they did the best they could with what they had and it worked very well. Was the administration good? Yes. Was the stream good from our point of view at the event? Yes. So if you missed it, don't miss the next one. If you're thinking about going, keep yourself aware, follow Europa Halo and some of the production team that I got to speak to and some of the staff on that. I'll put as many socials as I possibly can on the screen and in the description. Get yourself involved in EU Halo, get an EU sauna if you want to compete or get better at the game. Get yourself subscribed to my channel so you can learn how to kick ass in matchmaking and work your way up. But otherwise, that's it from me. More videos to come. As I keep saying, I am back, but it's just finding the time, guys. If you're at Blackpool, GG. It was great to meet you. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. So it's been Vanadam. See you again soon.